We also need to talk about the International Court of Justice. Yes, it has the word court in it, but it is a UN body. It is a political body as well, and there's no way to dodge it and claim that it is some independent judicial body. It is a political body of the United Nations. South Africa, of course, is pursuing this obscene claim accusing Israel of genocide. There was the advisory opinion as well that said that Israel's presence at the territories was illegal. And all this is being headed by a former Lebanese diplomat by the name of Nawaf Salaam. Tell me, who is Mr. Salaam?
Nawaf Salaam is the former Lebanese ambassador to the United Nations. He had the position for about 10 years. Lebanon is not only an Arab state that is officially at war with Israel, it's not only a state from which thousands of rockets have been fired for the past 10 months at Israeli cities, emptying out
7,000 rockets, Hillel. 7,000. It's amazing. Second Lebanon war was only about 3,500, 4,000 rockets. Now we're looking at more rockets and drones than the whole of the Second Lebanon war.
And what has been the impact on Israeli people in the north?
60,000 people have been displaced from their homes. They can't go back.
So that country, which is dominated by Hezbollah, it's not that Hezbollah is just a piece of it, but they have free reign to do whatever they want. They are the dominant force in Lebanese politics. The representative of that country is sitting on cases against Israel, including this ICJ case accusing Israel of genocide. You know, I used to be a lawyer in New York before I took over UN Watch. And if I would go before a judge and the head of the court was someone who for 10 years said that my client was a terrorist, because Nawaf Salaam is on record, we uncovered UN archives, audio, video, text of his speeches over 10 years. We found that routinely he accused Israel of war crimes, of its leaders of being terrorists. He voted against Israel 211 times, voted for Iranian-backed resolutions. He didn't just vote against Israel, by the way. He also voted repeatedly against victims of the worst dictatorships. When there were resolutions to hold the Ayatollah evil regime to account for their abuses, 11 times he voted with the Ayatollah regime.
Well, that makes sense. Lebanon is an Iranian puppet state.
That's right. He also voted against the victims of Belarus, voting with the Lukashenko regime. He was on the Security Council and blocked action against Bashar al-Assad, committing genocide against its own people. He tweeted that Fidel Castro, a brutal murderer who killed the father of my friend Rosa Maria Paya, her father Oswaldo Paya was the leading Cuban dissident. So Fidel Castro, murderous dictator for 60 years, he was praised by Nawaf Salaam as an iconic leader of our time.
I mean, it's
so
clear
he's
that
the head
Nawaf
of the
Salaam,
International Court of Justice.
It's clear that Nawaf Salaam is not an objective figure, and that contaminates the whole ICJ. In any ordinary court, a judge who has proclaimed himself against the defendant would have to recuse himself. The trial would be thrown out as a mistrial. The court itself would be shut down as a massive miscarriage of justice. And I'm wondering, when it is so obvious to everyone that the head of the ICJ is not some brilliant neutral legal scholar, but a political actor. I mean, he even ran for Prime Minister of Lebanon while
he said that he wasn't officially a candidate, but we know that he didn't stop the candidacy. Initially, Hezbollah opposed his candidacy, but afterwards, according to news reports, Hezbollah was okay with Nawaf Salaam's candidacy while he's sitting on the court. While he's sitting on the court, he's running to be Prime Minister of Lebanon. I mean,
and is backed by Hezbollah.
And eventually backed by Hezbollah. You couldn't make this stuff up.
No, but this is an example of reality being more twisted than anyone can imagine. You have the ICJ ruling against Israel, headed by a former Lebanese diplomat who is on record attacking Israel, who was a candidate for prime minister supported by Hezbollah. I mean,
while he's sitting on the court.
While he's sitting on the court. When the evidence is so overwhelming against it, I mean, it's obvious why Israel doesn't take this court very seriously. Why do other countries, why do they continue to pretend that the ICJ is this neutral legal organization instead of saying, come on, this is a kangaroo court?
Look, sadly, the UN is too often a political game where the diplomats just go along to get along. Sadly, we saw two UN figures, the former French ambassador, the former Swedish foreign minister, went on Twitter to praise Nawaf Salaam as someone they used to respect as a wonderful colleague, didn't address any of the evidence that he is completely biased and disqualified from sitting as court president. They just said he's a wonderful guy. So sadly, these are diplomats who go along with the system, who get rewarded. It's a beautiful life. If you're a diplomat in Manhattan representing France or Sweden, you have a beautiful penthouse. In New York, you have a tax-free life. You go on to become an international hero. Maybe you're president of the Human Rights Council. If you're in Geneva, you get to be in the Swiss Alps every weekend. It's a wonderful life. It only requires that you turn a blind eye. Not all of them. There are some diplomats who do great work, and I salute them. But too many of them just go along to get along. It's rather despicable.
Thanks for watching. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and hit subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Until next time, stay informed and inspired. This is Djobnik signing off.